How are you today? This is Matthew from LoveBudi with another love tip for today. Today's love tip is kind of an extension of yesterday's love tip. We talked about somebody like Michael Jackson, and when they make mistakes, they do something wrong. Does that mean we throw out everything that they did that was good? Gandhi, John Lennon, Mother Teresa. So today we're going to talk about a little bit different angle of that. We're going to talk about some of the ideas that these people had, some of the things that they recommended, especially a couple of quotations here that I want to share. I got to read them. So I'm going to look here. It says, Gandhi said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And Michael Jackson, he talks about the man in the mirror. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, part of his lyric. And then Tolstoy, of all people, he said, "Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself." Why? Why not? Well, I'll tell you, for me, what really has always kind of turned me off about what these people said, ignoring, forget about, trying to change the world. When we see problems all over the world, just work on yourself. And that to me always seemed like the scope was too small. Even if I, put all the attention on myself, aren't there other aspects of the world that also, is it just, it's only me? It's more than 7 billion people on the planet, and if I just think about changing myself, I just think about affecting me only. Well, think of the billions that aren't even trying to do that, so I'm going to get nowhere. So I really didn't like that, because I thought, well, I'd like to do something good for others. I'd like to benefit others. I'd like to interact with others. I'd like to have a way to influence others or have them influence me if their ideas are better. But at least make it more kind of a group effort, because, you have some synergy there, right? 1 + 1 = 3 kind of a thing. So if we're working together to make the world a better place, clean up the neighborhood, invent a cure for cancer, whatever the heck it is that we're, I don't want to just do that myself. Although there's a lot of truth in, not pointing the finger at others and looking at ourselves and seeing how we can be better people. And when it comes to love, it's absolutely true. But when you understand love, things like this, they just become so clear. They just make so much more sense all of a sudden. So what about love? Well, when we love universally. It's not about self-love, being selfish. And it's not about being a martyr by loving everybody else, but, abusing ourselves, being a masochist. Real love, as we know it, love is universal. So if I learn to love myself, I'm also learning to love others, because if I respect myself, I'm going to apply that same principle, that same learning, that same knowledge, that same skill to other people as well. Respect is respect, whether I do it for myself or I do it for others. That's why love needs to be so well-rounded. When you really understand love, it automatically becomes really well-rounded. It doesn't take that long for the light to go on and say, oh, okay, I get it. So learning how to love yourself, learning how to nurture yourself, this skill, when it comes from the heart, when it comes from the source of love, it could be applied to yourself and it could be applied to others at the same time, universally. I use the illustration. If you dig a well, you can get water for yourself and you can share that water with others. You can let others get their own water from the well that you dig. So this idea that, if I love myself too much, I'm being selfish, or, loving others so much, is going to hurt me, and that I have to pay for that by having a crummy life and not having anything because I'm always doing everything for everybody else. It's not like that at all. And especially when you're aware of having self-respect, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, you're going to know how not to negate yourself, how not to hurt yourself, how not to put yourself down and put yourself in an inferior position to where you're missing out on everything because you're giving up everything for everybody else. Yeah, love involves sacrifice, but love also involves self-nurturing and taking care of ourselves, empowering ourselves. So you don't throw yourself out. And you don't think about not loving others and just loving yourself only. It doesn't work that way either. So when it comes to learning to love and how to apply this man in the mirror idea, yeah, I'm looking at the man in the mirror, and this is really great because when we understand love ourselves, when we really focus on being able to love one another, love ourselves, just be a good lover in general, we're going to apply that to ourselves and others. How does that impact other people? Automatically benefits them because you're being a generous and giving person to them as well as to yourself. You understand you don't have to be stingy, but you also don't have to hurt yourself by giving away things that you need. Setting an example. So by being loving, you're setting an example. And also, because love is accountable, love is responsible, you're going to hold yourself accountable, yourself responsible, and others accountable and responsible too. You're going to expect them, to be loving to you, to their environment. You see somebody at work, they're stealing a box of pencils. You don't turn your head. You say, hey, what are you doing? No, this is my office. This is my company too. I don't tolerate that. Love is courageous. Love doesn't stand by and let tyrants or thieves or liars or criminals mess things up for our community. So not only are we giving and we're generous and we're kind and we're understanding, but we also hold ourselves accountable, we hold ourselves responsible. And this is how looking at the man in the mirror, paying attention to ourselves, being the change we want to see in the world, also has a real impact on the rest of the world at the same time. You can't have more of an impact. You couldn't possibly do it because as you actualize, as you grow, as your influence gets bigger, as big as you want it to be, you're affecting that many more people. And that's how real love works. Real love is contagious. Real love sets an example. Real love is not masochistic and it's not selfish. Real love grows. Real love is strong. Okay, so that's what today's Love Tip is about. Thanks so much for listening. Today it's August 10th, 2019. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope your life is filled with love. I love you. This is Matthew from LoveBudi. Take a look at the notes here and see if there's something else that interests you from LoveBudi. We've got a lot of stuff, a lot of videos and some ebooks and some courses and things like that about love. If you're interested in love, take a look because this is the place to get your love. So come and get your love. Thanks a lot so much. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.